Yo, what is up, everybody? It's B. Milton. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host here on the Redskins review. And you guys, we just got done watching the third preseason game, the Redskins versus the Bengals. The Redskins came out on top 23-17. I think that's a big deal for us just because we've had a pretty rough preseason. And even this game was kind of rough. Honestly, I'm sitting here thinking about maybe just not following any Redskins pages and stuff like that on social media, because this fan base is just, the sky is falling all the time. If you go online and you join any of these Redskins Facebook pages, just to join a community and talk to some Redskins fans and see what people are thinking. I mean, honestly, dude, it's like 7 out of 10 people on there. It's just the sky is falling. The entire first half, everyone's just trashing Kirk Cousins. Everyone's just trashing Jay Gruden. Everyone's just the sky's falling. Everyone's posting stuff like, and with the first pick in the 2018 draft, the Washington Redskins select. Everyone has that mentality on there, and I just honestly I can't deal with that, man. I didn't I didn't really notice how bad the fan base can be at times because when I was growing up and everything, I only knew people that I know that are Redskins fans, or I would go to games, and most everyone that I would meet at a Redskins game were happy. They were at a football game. They were having fun. They were good fans. They were good people. But I don't know what it is about social media or whatever. It just brings out some of the worst trolls and everything. But it's just, I can't ignore it, man. There's just so many people out there just that they are in the sky is falling mode. And although, yes, the first half was, not what we wanted, I was not worried. It's only the preseason. We have Kirk Cousins as our quarterback. As long as we have Kirk Cousins as our quarterback, I am not going to be worried, all right? I'm not going to be worried. I'm not going to be worried that he threw a pick six in the preseason. I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about why did he you have to look more into why this stuff is happening. Kirk Cousins, this isn't going to be the last time Kirk Cousins throws an interception, all right? It is not going to be the last time. But you have to look more in depth of more of the game and not just that one play. The play right before that, Terrell Pryor drops a perfect first down catch. He drops that, and combine that with us not having a running game at all. Our offensive line cannot run block at all. Terrell Pryor dropped a catch right before that. We're in, I believe that was like third down, and we're in an obvious pass situation, all right? We are putting our own selves into bad situations, and this is the same Kirk Cousins that a couple years ago everyone thought that that's who Kirk Cousins is. He's just an interception machine or whatever. You have to look at what our team is doing, and we have no run game until the end. And then you can realize this by the end of the second quarter. What happened? Rob Kelly had some holes to run through, and damn did he not exploit some of those holes. Which goes into another point of mine, is I've seen a lot of people campaigning for, P. Ryan to be the starter, for other people to take Fat Rob's job, and I've seen people say that, Fat Rob is not going to be our starter, and it's just like, I don't understand what... like if you're sitting here thinking that Fat Rob is not going to be the starting running back on this team and he doesn't deserve to be the starting running back, I don't know what you're watching, man. Fat Rob, he's constantly moving his legs. He reminds me of Alfred Morris when when three guys are jumping on top of him, he never stops moving his feet. He never stops moving forward. He never quits on a play. He never does. Sure, is Fat Rob the most talented running back in the NFL? No. And yes, I admit I was one of those people who the first time I ever saw Fat Rob run in the preseason last year, watching him in the preseason last year, I honestly didn't think much of him, and I overlooked him. And then when he got his chance to play as a starter, he is much, much better than we pretty much, I think, most of the Redskins fans even thought. And it just goes back to how, disorganized even our fan base is, because we have all these people over here who want to go on Facebook and trash Fat Rob, yet they don't. Like, it's very easy to see that our offensive line is in shambles at times. I think Chase Rollier, or however you say his name, I think he played a pretty decent game today for being his first time starting with the ones. It sucks that Spencer Long went down and he's not playing. Hopefully he comes back soon. That reminds me of another video that I made for this year's off-season. In this year's off-season video that I made, I talked about a couple things. The nose tackle position I'll get to in a second, because we all know Phil Taylor went down in this game. Don't know how injured he is. That's a big blow to us, because I guess since I'm on the same topic, I'll just throw this nose tackle thing in there now. In the same video that I'm talking about, you can go back and watch it. I was like, hey, I like some of these things we did. I like some of the players we drafted or whatever, but we don't have a nose tackle, and that is a big problem, because if we look at how bad our defense was and we didn't have anyone to be like the cornerstone of our defensive line and stop the run, how are we expecting our defense to be that much better than last year or the year before that, where we just get ran on like 6 yards a carry or something like that, and we still didn't have any specific, like, this is our guy for nose tackle. Like, we have Matt Ioannidis, and I don't hate Matt Ioannidis or whatever, but he's just not like a true nose tackle. He's not the number one guy. He's not a guy who you want to be your starter. So, I mean, maybe he can grow into something like that, or maybe he can move around on the line and do some other jobs. But Phil Taylor going down, that's a big blow. We need someone to step up. The guy who filled in for him after he left, I forget his name. I don't think he's a guy that a lot of fans are even going to know his name. But he had the one fumble recovery, so he played a little, decent. But that's a big deal. Phil Taylor going down. Phil Taylor was having a really good preseason. That was one of my biggest takeaways from the preseason in general. Was that my big worry about nose tackle was becoming not so worryful because of Phil Taylor and his emergence. And that was one of my biggest takeaways of the preseason so far. And now that he's injured, that's a big deal. We got to see what's going on with that. Hopefully he'll be ready for the season to start. Hopefully Spencer Long will be ready for the season to start. Even if Spencer Long doesn't go back to playing center, and if Spencer Long comes back and plays left guard, or he just is depth, and Chase Rollier, if he ends up taking the starting center job or whatever, we still need Spencer Long to come back. We still need that depth. That's why I'm referring back to that video on the offseason that I made where I mentioned this. Out of everything that we did, all the players that we acquired in the offseason, all of the trades, all of the people that we drafted in this year's draft, my number one biggest, best offseason move that we did was re-sign Ty and Secchi. Because I said this, and this is something that I realized, the past couple years, our offensive line has been above average. We have been getting some pretty good offensive line play. Now, obviously, we know we still have been struggling in the run blocking, but we've had some pretty good offensive line play. And I said, and I made that argument, and I said that was probably going to be our biggest acquisition on the offseason was re-signing Ty and Secchi for that offensive line depth, because I said, hey, some of us fans, we might be spoiled right now. We may not even realize the past while before we've acquired some of these players like Morgan Moses started playing well, and our offensive line has just been clicking the past two and a half years. Before that, we've had not so great offensive line play for a long time, inconsistent offensive line play for a long time, and I think a lot of Redskins fans have been overlooking how good of a job and how we go into games and our offensive line is not something that we are worrying about so much. It's our defense the past couple of years. We've been like, oh man, every time they're out there on the field, we dread it. But our offensive line has been pretty decent, and that's why Spencer Long going down is another big deal. Hopefully he will be back, and hopefully he will be healthy. But I made those points because look, man, we're accruing some injuries, and Tyenseki, even though Tyenseki hasn't had an amazing preseason or anything, we've seen him step in and we've seen him play well. So that is a big deal that we have him and we have offensive line depth. Even if Laval or someone goes down, or even if any of the tackles go down, we have Tyenseki. And I'm just saying, it's kind of a wake-up call, man. Having a question mark at center, and Sean Laval actually played a pretty good game today versus the Bengals, but he hasn't had a really good preseason in general. But I have to admit, he played pretty well today. But offensive line, with Spencer Long going down, it's kind of a scare. They said he's supposed to be back by the Eagles game, but who knows, dude? We'll see. So let's go into some other things. Another thing I really need that's jumping out at me is Fabian Moreau. Fabian Moreau, I have this in my notes, looks every inch of the part of a starting cornerback in this league. Fabian Moreau might actually turn out to be the best person that we got in the draft this year. And we got Jonathan Allen, we got a couple other really good players, and Fabian Moreau honestly might become the biggest and most impactful player for us. Maybe not even this year. He might not even be a starter for us this year or get a lot of play time this year. But for years to come, if we have him on our team, man, he's such a big body guy. He's just physical. He just makes it look easy. Like I said, he looks like a straight up starter in the NFL. Now, I know that what some of you are going to be thinking. I know some of you are going to be like, oh yeah, that we drafted him and he's Bashaud Breeland's replacement. Not so fast, dude. Did you see Bashaud Breeland today? He had a good game. He's earning his nickname back. So hopefully he can continue to build upon today's game and get some more confidence. Go out there again. He made a couple good hits, man. He looked like the old Bashaud Breeland we love, where he will come up and be physical, especially in the run game. I always root for Bashaud Breeland, man. That guy's a dog. I'll never give up on him. We've seen him do this before. We cannot keep giving up on players. Even Matt Jones. I've brought this up before. Even Matt Jones, even with all the dumb stuff that he did, talking about, he wants to be traded and all this or that, it does not matter. He is a Washington Redskin. He's shown us some talent. We cannot give up on Matt Jones. Now, I will admit, I don't understand why Matt Jones is taking more carries before Mac Brown is touching the football. Mac Brown had it yet again today. How many times do we need to see Mac Brown have a good game in the preseason? No matter even if it's in the preseason, Mac Brown just deserves to be getting more reps than Matt Jones. So those are just some of the few takeaways. Let's go back to the first half. Kirk Cousins, the offense started slow, man. And the Bengals turned our defense into exactly how our defense looked last year, dude. When it was 3rd and 11, they got it. Like 3rd and 8, they got it. They're just working down the field, running the ball decently. I thought the Bengals mixed up a lot of good plays. Josh Norman missing tackles. Like I said, Breeland had a good game. DJ Swearinger still waiting to come on here and tell you something that he did good. He had the one play where he tackled A.J. Green, and A.J. Green went out a couple plays. But besides that, so far, I'm still going to keep that comparison between DJ Swearinger and Brandon Merriweather. He's not jumping off the screen at me. That's all I'm saying, man. I know there's a lot of people out there that love DJ Swearinger, and I want to love him, but I haven't seen him, jump off the screen. So hopefully that still happens. Hopefully that's still to come. Hopefully during the Eagles game he just completely turns me into a huge ass fan of his. But I'm still waiting for it to happen. I think P. Ryan had a decent game. our running backs in general had a hard time. Chris Thompson, what a beast. What a beast. And I have it in my notes, the one play, oh my God, this is why Jay Gruden and even our offensive coordinator last year, Sean McVay, he was like-minded offensive coach, or good offensive mind. They would draw up some of these plays, and my God, the one play where we fake a double handoff. Kirk Cousins fakes the handoff to Chris Thompson, and then I think he fakes the handoff to another wide receiver running in the backfield, and then we just run a screen to Chris Thompson. This is what we need more of. We need more of Chris Thompson with the ball in his hand in the open, on the outside, anywhere in the open field. Just let him get the ball in the open field. Use his speed. He's elusive. It's hard to tackle him. He just somehow, whenever Chris Thompson has the ball, like on the outside, he knows how to use his. It's not even that. It's not even just him with the ball and he has speed. He knows how to use his blockers. Probably more so than some of the other running backs we have on this team. And this is a guy who's a third down back. This is a guy who isn't, normally running the ball on first down or whatever. He's not a starter, like a starting running back, except for on third downs. And this is a guy who, like I said, he has more skills than a lot of people even realize. If there's, you go ask someone from a different fan base who Chris Thompson is, they're probably not going to know. But this guy has more skill than some of the running backs we've had in a long time, dude. And I've always been a huge fan of his. I've always said, let's see him with some more first and second down carries. If it gets bad for our run game, dude, let's fall back on Chris Thompson. Fat Rob, like I said, when Fat Rob actually got some holes in this game, he looked good, man. He fought for all those yards. I think he did get that touchdown right. So. Fat Rob's our guy, man. If you're sitting here thinking that P. Ryan's going to steal the job, if you're sitting here thinking Matt Jones is going to come steal a job, even Mac Brown or someone, it's not happening, dude. It's not happening. Fat Rob is our guy. He's just, Fat Rob proves the point. If you watch Fat Rob and you watch him when he has a hole to run through, phenomenal. He's a good running back. But I've seen so many fans and so many people who are like, oh, we don't have a run game, or, we need to get rid of Fat Rob. We need to bench Fat Rob. And it's like, dude, what are you watching? He has nowhere to go. And even when he has nowhere to go, he still does a damn good job of doing something. What are the other takeaways? I think this is another thought that I had. When things weren't going our way in the first half, and, I know a lot of Redskins fans out there were having all these doubts, and, everyone's like, oh, man, this is not looking good for us, Even though it's the preseason, you want to win. We don't want to come out of the preseason with no wins. Winning becomes a habit. When you're just fucking losing all the time, people get down. Like I said, Josh Norman in his interview last game, he looked down, dude. We were losing. And we don't want that to become a habit. That's why it was a real big deal that we won this game. Even if we had to win it at the end of the game, I don't care. We got a W. We got to win. Our guys in their locker room right now celebrating a win, even though we have some bad tape. You want to make winning a habit. You want them to want that feeling again. So that's why it's a really big deal. Also, it's a third preseason game. It's the most important one. So it's good that we won this one. But in the first half, when things weren't really going our way, there's a thought that I had, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, our first string offense isn't clicking fast enough. We aren't starting strong. The Bengals offense came out, they started strong. Something that has plagued Kirk Cousins' career so far is he is not a fast starter, especially in the beginning of the season. Like, he just comes out. Like the first time I think he even got a start the one year, or maybe it was the second year, against the Dolphins. It was a close game, but we lose just because our offense is starting slow, and that's what happened in this game as well. And then our defense, they were okay. They weren't terrible. They weren't that good either. Josh Norman's out there missing plays and stuff like that. and just the whole fan base seemed to have like a negative outlook on the game and everything. And then I found my first shining light that I saw was like, I'm sitting here thinking, hey, you know what? For the first time in a long time, our special teams is good. I'm not worried about our special teams right now. And even if we're sitting here and the sky's falling, we are in a bad situation where we might not have Kirk Cousins next year. We have a lot of guys on one-year deals that might be gone next year, and things might seem bad at times. I'm trying to make some positives out of this, and I'm looking at our special teams, which has been, if you've been watching Redskins football for the past some years, you know right away our special teams has been one of the worst for a long time. And I'm looking at our special teams play right now, and I'm going, hey, we're building something. Some of these guys, depth-wise, who are playing these special teams, we have something to build upon. And, that's kind of, I'm not going to say special teams is a core of your team, the core of your team, but it's definitely something you cannot overlook. And special teams, going right back to Fabian Moreau, last game, fumbled. We got the ball. Special teams is very important, and I'm not dreading kickoffs. I'm not dreading punt returns. I'm not dreading I'm not dreading our special teams anymore, dude. So there are some positives to spin out of this. Also, going back to the whole, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be all over Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins is holding the ball too long. Kirk Cousins is, what I saw in the first half was Kirk Cousins running for his life. The offensive line, who is normally really good at pass blocking. I mean, come on, man. Trent Williams was getting beat out there. Trent Williams was looking a little slow and sluggish and old out there. So I saw, obviously Kirk Cousins had some bad reads, some bad throws, but I saw Kirk Cousins running for his life a lot. I saw him just flustered, getting hit. One time he got hit off the right side. There was just a free man coming, and he got rid of the ball, and he took a hit, and then the camera turned away. I was like holding my breath for a second, and it comes right back and to Kirk Cousins in 2 seconds, right back up on his feet. Right back up on his feet, like nothing even happened, like he never even got touched, like he's not hurt. Like, man, a lot of people try to just find things to hate Kirk Cousins for, man, but this guy, he's a baller, dude. I remember back in the day where it happened all the time. When RG3 would get hit, everyone would be holding their breath, be like, damn, is this going to be it? Is this going to be the time where he's just not going to get back up? RG3 used to lay on the ground for how long? Like, Kirk Cousins got hit free, and I was worried. And then when the camera turned back to him in 2 seconds, already back up on his feet. Like, he's not about that, man. He wants to win. He wants to be competitive. He doesn't want to be dramatic. What I saw today was the actual first down in the entire game that the Redskins got was Kirk Cousins took the ball into his own hands. Kirk Cousins had to take the ball into his own hands and run for a first down. That's the first down the Redskins offense got today. Our quarterback had to run the ball to get the first down. And this is the guy that people are trying to jump all over, even though it's preseason. Yet again, I'm down to criticize. He's been missing some throws. We had a couple touchdown passes that he missed because he's just going through his progressions and stuff like that. But people need to realize Kirk Cousins missed a touchdown in the last game or something like that because he went through his progressions too quick. Do you understand that there's quarterbacks in the NFL that don't even get to go through their progression? They're not even that good. They're not even that good to get through their progression. Kirk Cousins, he's doing it too fast. That's why I'm not worried. I am not worried. If we have Kirk Cousins as our quarterback, even if we have Colt McCoy out there on the field, I'm not that worried. We have quarterbacks. We do. I'm not worried about the offense. I'm just not. The defense, when the Bengals' first string offense was out there, they started looking like the defense from last year, man. And the beginning of the game, a couple of times, I'm thinking, where's Greg Minuski at with these blitzes? Because it was third and 11, 3rd and 8, and he just wasn't setting pressure, and they got him. We just went back and did what we did last year, sat in soft zone coverage, and oh, it's 3rd and 11, they're not gonna get it. Easy, they got it. And then later on in the game, he started sending some pressure, and we started to look a little better. So I'm gonna stop rambling. I know you guys get tired of me talking about Kirk Cousins and some other stuff, so hopefully that didn't piss you guys off. I'm going to go into my notes. Phil Taylor goes down. That's a big deal. Skins give up 3rd and 13. Oh, it wasn't 3rd and 11. It was 3rd and 13. Josh Norman was on the coverage, by the way, mind you. Bengals are just moving the ball easy with slant routes. All they did and at the very beginning of the game was come out, slant route, come out, slant route, come out, slant route, and they were just moving. Josh Norman gets shook in the open field on a tackle attempt. Breeland pops a running back on the outside. Great hit. 3rd and 11, we give up 13. Sitting in soft zone coverage with no pressure. Offensive line is getting pushed back, and Kirk is trying to scramble away, and he has to throw the ball away. That's the play where he got the intentional grounding because he just was running for his life. Redskins punt coverage looks good. Joe Mixon fumbles the ball, and Phil Taylor's fill-in recovers it. I forget the guy's name. Sorry about that. Kirk is sacked. Trent Williams is beat. Kirk needs to get rid of the ball quicker. Martrell Spate has a really good hit on the kickoff, and oh my God, Martrell Spate in this game. This is the guy that when we drafted him, I got super stoked watching all of his college film. I was like, oh man, even if this guy is just a special teamer, this guy is brutal. And we saw in this game, Martrell Spate is similar to Nico Marley, even more so with the effort. That guy he wants to play. He wants to hit you. He wants to make a play. He just wants to be great. Even if he doesn't have the size, even if he doesn't have all the abilities, he tries his damnedest to jump off the screen at you. Breeland stays toe-to-toe with John Ross in great coverage. Yet again, Breeland had a hell of a game on this play. Andy Dalton is just like, hey, let's see what John Ross can do. Obviously, he's a speedster, ran like 4.2, 40, and he's just like, hey, we have one-on-one coverage with John Ross on the outside versus Breeland. He just throws the ball up to see what happens, and then it pans over, and Breeland's just right there, neck and neck with John Ross, just speeding down the field. No play to be made because it was good coverage. 3rd and 8, Skins finally blitz, and then Breeland makes it a good open field tackle short of the first down. Kirk Cousins literally needs to run it himself to get the first down of the game. Fat Rob keeps his legs going, full individual effort to keep going and get better yardage. Terrell Pryor drops an easy first down catch. Kirk throws a pick six and hustles and barely misses the tackle. This is what happens when you become a one-dimensional team. When you become a one-dimensional football team, you're going to throw interceptions. You're going to have bad plays. If it's not Kirk Cousins throwing an interception, it's going to be fumbles. It's going to be turnovers. If you do not have Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, or Superman on your team, you need your team to come together, and you need a run game. You need your team to be a team. If you are coming out here and the defense knows, guess what? They're going to throw the football. They can't run the ball. We're not going to let them run the ball. They haven't ran the ball the whole time. Well, look at all their other tapes from other games. They can't run the ball. Guess what? They're going to sit there and wait. They know what you're going to do before you even do it because they know you're going to throw the ball. And like I said, if you don't have Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or Superman on your team who can just straight up be a one-man army, a one-man team, your quarterback's going to throw interceptions. You're going to have turnovers. So one way or another, they're going to get turnovers from you. We cannot be one-dimensional. We have to run the football. And in the end of the second quarter, we started to do that, and that's when we came alive. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Kelly with a 21-yard run. Vernon Davis has a great catch, a first down catch and run. Mad effort in that. Kelly, another good 5-yard run. He's getting some rhythm. Maurice Harris blocks a or Maurice Harris gets a bullshit block in the back call on him, but it doesn't really matter because Rob Kelly gets the touchdown. Breland is having a good game. He's my dude. Amazing play call with a double fake. I already went over that where Chris Thompson ran the ball. He got the screen catch and ran for like 30 yards. Kirk's hard count gets the Bengals to jump off sides. We get a first down on that. Chris Thompson having another good game. End of the second quarter, and we're seeing the old Redskins defense is showing up. Martell Spate gets pressure on the QB. Jamison Crowder has a drop. First string is still out there in the third quarter. Next play after Jamison Crowder has a drop, Terrell Pryor has a drop. I like Maurice Harris on punt returns more than I like Will Blackman. Colt McCoy gets hit and fumbles it. Bengals recover. Fabian Moreau looks every single bit of a starting corner in this league. Mac Brown's still looking great. 4th and 2, we go for it. P. Ryan is hit in the backfield. Loss of 3. This is why Jay Gruden doesn't like to run the ball. Because it doesn't work. Jay Gruden is out here trying to give us every opportunity we can to run the ball. Hey, it's 4th and 1. Hey, it's 4th and 2. Let's put 3 tight ends out on the field and let's run the damn ball. And we can't. Our offensive line just cannot do it. And that's why we're sitting here wondering, why is Gruden so pass happy? Because we can't run the ball. He's calling the plays. What play can he call that's wrong on a 4th and 1 and you bring in 3 tight ends to block? How is he in the wrong? If I'm in 4th and 1 and I have Fat Rob and I have P. Ryan, if I have Chris Thompson or if I have Mac Brown, like I'm gonna, if 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1, run the football. That's my first thought. But guess what? We're not a running team. It is what it is. We're a passing team. We're a finesse team, all right? And I love to run the football. If I had a choice, I would be a run-first team. I would love to run the football, run the clock out, play solid defense, and that's it. I would love to do that. But guess what? That's not what we are. We are a finesse team. We throw the football and finesse shit. We have Chris Thompson finessing the shit out of people for 30 yards on a screen pass. That's what we are. We can't run the football. We're not a run team. So we're just gonna have to get over it. We're gonna have to get over it, and we gotta have Gruden call better plays, like the one that was this one that I keep talking about, the one that actually was really creative, where we did a double fake handoff and threw a screen. Like, that's some creative shit. We need more of that. Hopefully, Gruden is just keeping those plays in his playbook or in his backpack and saying, I'm not calling these in the preseason. I'm saving this for game time. Hopefully, he's got 500 more of those creative plays just waiting. When we are setting pressure, we are actually doing much better. I wrote down maybe Martell Spate could start. Now, this is something I was thinking about just because of this game. Martell Spate was having a really good game. And we have Mason Foster and Zach Brown out there. Now, obviously, Zach Brown needs to be a starter. He needs to be out there. But I don't think Zach Brown's calling any plays. So that means Mason Foster is calling plays. And if that's true, I was thinking about it. Martell Spate's been on our team, and he's been calling plays for the second string for a while now. Longer than Mason Foster has been calling plays with the first team. We're calling plays at all. So if things don't start working out the way that we want them to in defense, I'm starting to think, why not put an effort guy out there? Why not put Martell Spate out there with Zach Brown? And let's just see what happens. Now, we have Mason Foster, and we have Will Compton and Martell Spate. None of these guys are guys that you are like proud. Like, this is our starter guy. We don't have a cornerstone, like a face of our franchise. We don't have a London Fletcher. We don't have one of those good starters, linebackers like that to start for us. But every time I see Martell Spate, He's hustling. He's getting to the football. He's trying to make a play. He's showing effort. And also, he can make calls. He's been making the calls for the second string for a while now. And like I said, Mason Foster, I don't think he wasn't calling plays when Will Compton was in there. So he has been making calls. Zach Brown hasn't been making calls at all. Even when he was on the Bills, he didn't make any calls. So that's a thought that I had today. Maybe we just throw, if things aren't going, if we start off the season with Foster and Zach Brown out there and things aren't clicking well, shit, dude, let's give Martellus Spate a shot, dude. Like, at least he's gonna. We know one thing we're gonna get out of him, and that is effort. So, some dude named Fish Smithson gets an interception and returns it for about 60 yards. I don't know why. I just was kind of laughing at his name or whatever. This is obviously a guy who's probably not going to make the team, but hey, hell of an effort. So, that guy can go home and watch that play over and over and be proud of himself. Brian Quick drops a touchdown pass, not looking good for him. Will Blackman makes a good play to sack the quarterback down. This is at the end of the game where the game's on the line. It's like a 2-minute drill, and the Bengals are moving the ball down the field. If they score a touchdown, they win. And Will Blackman, smart veteran himself, he comes up and sacks the QB. And then the Redskins hang on to win the game. And it means a lot, man. It really does mean a lot. We need this win. It was not going to look good if we lost all of our preseason games. Not saying we're going to lose the game next week, but our offseason, our preseason has been shaky. It's been shaky. It hasn't worried me. Like, I would be somewhat disappointed. I'm sitting here watching the Giants defense play football. I'm just like, holy shit. Oh my God. Like, damn, dude. The Giants have a crazy defense. Enjoyable to watch. Even though I'm not a Giants fan, it's enjoyable to watch their defense play. It's enjoyable to watch Landon Collins just be all over the field and just demolish people, man. And we haven't had games like that. We haven't had anything in our preseason that's enjoyable like that. And so I understand the frustration, but I'm still not worried. Like, we have a quarterback. We have a guy who's going to make shit happen. We have a guy who's, he might miss some plays, he might screw some shit up, but he makes more plays than he misses, man. He does. Even if Kirk Cousins wasn't our starter, I would still feel okay at quarterback with Colt McCoy. We have better quarterbacks than some of the other teams, at least probably half of the teams in the NFL, man. So I'm not worried about our offense. We can move the ball. We have guys who are talented guys on offense. The only thing I'm worried about is the run game and our offensive line. That's it. Not worried about the offense. Defense, our second string defense looked really good. Those guys came out, showed a lot of effort. Quentin Dunbar almost had that interception. He's playing fired up. Fabian Moreau is becoming a star. We've got some guys. Nico Marley, he didn't jump off the screen this game, but, he's been big. We have some guys. We have some talent. I'm not too worried until we get to week 1 in the Eagles. The only thing I'm worried about is Phil Taylor getting hurt. Injuries. That's it. That's what the preseason is about. Not getting injuries. Seeing some tape on your guys. Even if it's tape you don't like. All we need to do is get the best guys that we have on our roster to be on our final roster when we go into the Eagles game. That's it. So it's almost 40 minutes. Hail to the Redskins, guys. I'm going to end this video here. Let me know what you guys think about the game in the comments. I will read all your comments and respond. Thanks for watching. Peace. Hail to the Redskins as always. See you guys next time.